So hi everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss about the differentiability. In the first year syllabus, in the first year PUC syllabus, we have discussed about the differentiability by using the first principle method and by using the standard result. So let me have a glance over that one. So the first principle, f dash of x is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. H is the small limit, we are applying the small quantity h. As the limit h tends to 0, we need to apply the function f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So in the first year PUC, we have discussed about the first principle method, and we have solved many problems like sin x, cos x. We have found lot of problems on those topics. We are finding the derivative of the given function by using the first principle method, and we have discussed about the some standard results. So here, so d by dx of constant, here c is the constant, so differentiation of constant is 0. Differentiation of x to the power n is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. So d by dx of sin x, differentiation of sin x with respect to x is cos x, differentiation of cos x with respect to x is minus sin x, differentiation of tan x with respect to x is secant square x, differentiation of cot x with respect to x is minus cosecant square x, and differentiation of secant x is nothing but secant x into tan x, and differentiation of cosecant x, so minus cosecant x into cot x. These are the 6 trigonometric ratios. We are applying the differentiation with respect to x. Suppose if we have a constant into some function, here c into u, so differentiation of x, differentiation of cu with respect to s is, so c is the constant which moves out of the derivative, is nothing but du by dx. So differentiation of u plus v, here u is a function and v is the another function, so differentiation of x, so differentiation of u plus v with respect to x is, first we need to differentiate with respect to x for u, and we need to differentiate v with respect to x, so du by dx plus dv by dx. Similarly here negative sign, so it's nothing but du by dx minus dv by dx. So here we have a product rule. So product rule means u into v, so first function should be constant and second function dv by dx plus second function treated as constant v into du by dx. Similarly d by dx of u by v, we are applying the quotient rule here, quotient rule for differentiation. So observe here, the denominator whole square, so in the numerator v into du by dx plus minus u into dv by dx. We need to remember this function or this formula. So when we are applying the quotient rule, so denominator square into denominator into differentiation of numerator with respect to x minus numerator into differentiation of the denominator with respect to x. The product rule also is like that only. So differentiation of first function as it is into differentiation of second function plus second function should be constant, differentiation of the first function. So pause the video to note it down. So first theorem, prove that if a function f of x is differentiable at x is equal to a, then f of x is continuous at x is equal to a, full stop, is its converse is true. First analyze the theorem here. F of x is a differential function at x is equal to a, then f of x is continuous at x is equal to a. So already they have given a function f of x, that function is differentiable at x is equal to a. They have given a condition that f of x is differentiable at x is equal to a, and we need to prove that it is continuous, f of x is continuous at x is equal to a. We need to prove that f of x is continuous at x is equal to a, and we need to check that is its converse is true, means yeah, a continuous function is differentiable or not, you need to check that one. So already here in this question we need to prove that the differentiable function is continuous or what, and we need to check that every continuous function is differentiable or not. This is the thing here. So first we need to observe that, first we need to prove that every differentiable function is continuous or not. We need to prove that the differentiable function is to be continuous. So for that one we have considered f of x be a differentiable function, that the differentiable function should be given. So the f of x is a differentiable function at x is equal to a. So therefore by using the first principle method, so differentiable means f dash of a is equal to limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a exists. This is the thing here. So f of x is a differentiable function by using the first principle method. So f dash of a is equal to limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a at x is equal to a. Now we need to prove that f of x is continuous at x is equal to a. So this one, the differentiable function is continuous at x is equal to a. To check that the given function, the given differentiable function is continuous means it must satisfy f of a is equal to LHL is equal to RHL. In general we can say that f of a is equal to limit x tends to a f of x. LHL means limit x tends to a minus, RHL means limit x tends to a plus. In general we can say limit x tends to a f of x. So we have considered that limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a. We have considered this function, this limit. So limit x tends to f of x minus f of a. So we are just applying, we are multiplying and divided by x minus a here. We are multiplying and divided by x minus a. So it comes as limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a into x minus a. Getting? So next one, limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a. So this limit can be written as by using limit of algebra or algebra of limits. We can say that, so these things are multiplying with each other, then we can say that we are applying the limit on both the functions, this function also, this function also. So limit x tends to f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a into limit x tends to a x minus a. Suppose in this function we are applying x as a. So this x is going to be a minus a is nothing but 0. So we are applying here 0. So this function, so this limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a is nothing but f dash of a. So f dash of a into 0 is nothing but 0. So we have limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a. So this is a constant function which goes to RHS, means limit x tends to a f of x is equal to f of a is a continuous at x is equal to a. Means we need to prove that, observe here. So we need to prove that f of a is equal to limit x tends to a f of x. If it's come like this, then the function is continuous. We have reached the final result, limit x tends to a f of x is equal to f of a. Therefore f of x is a continuous at x is equal to a. Getting point? This is the differentiation of x with respect to differentiation by using the first principle method at the point x is equal to a. So we need to prove that the differentiable function is continuous, means we need to get f of a is equal to limit x tends to f of x. So we are getting limit x tends to f of x is equal to f of a. Therefore the given function is a continuous function. So next we need to check that the continuous function is differentiable or not. In the last result we have mentioned that every differentiable function is a continuous function. So here we need to check that is every continuous function is differentiable. So we can go through an example like, so take an example f of x is equal to mod x. So already we know that every modulus function is a continuous function. So suppose if a continuous function is differentiable means, so we need to get the value of f dash of x here. So we have chosen a modulus function. We know that modulus function is a continuous function. Therefore we are finding right hand derivative, means r of f dash of 0. f dash of 0 or f dash of, sorry, we are f dash of 0 because we are choosing at x is equal to 0 here. So limit h tends to 0. By using the first principle method, we can say that f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h. So we are getting limit h tends to 0, f of h minus f of 0 divided by h. So f of 0 means 0. So f of h means f of x is nothing but mod x. So f of h is nothing but mod h. So limit h tends to 0. H by h means 1. So we are applying for any limit, the constant value is going to be constant only. So we are getting 1 here. So we are finding left hand limit here, sorry, left hand derivative, L of f dash of 0, left hand derivative. So L of f dash of 0 is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of 0 minus h minus f of 0 divided by minus h. So limit h tends to 0, f of minus h minus of f of 0 divided by minus h. So here, so 0 minus h means minus h only. So we have found that f of h means mod h. So here f of minus h. So we are using the modulus function. Modulus of h is nothing but h only. So limit h tends to 0, h by minus h is nothing but minus 1. So we have found that the right hand derivative is not equal to left hand derivative. So this is a not differentiable function. If it is differentiable function, r of f dash of 0 means right hand derivative is equal to left hand derivative, but here not equal to left hand derivative. So that this is not a differentiable function, means mod x is not a differentiable function. So we can easily say that every continuous function need not be a differentiable function. Every continuous function is not a differentiable function, but every differentiable function is a continuous function. This is the very important theorem. You need to analyze the things. So first, if it is continuous means it need not be differentiable. Are you getting the point? If a function is continuous, if a function is a continuous function, it need not be a differentiable. Suppose if it is a differentiable function, it should be continuous. It should be continuous. So if it is continuous, it need not be differentiable. If it is differentiable, it should be continuous function. You need to analyze the things here. So pause the video and note it down. So types of differentiation. So among this type of differentiation, we have the first type, chain rule of differentiation. So before we move to the chain rule, so we need to analyze the composite function. Suppose if we have a function, in the previous video we have observed that y is equal to sine of mod x. We have seen that. So here sin x is one function, modulus of x is another function. Suppose f of x is equal to sin x and g of x is equal to mod x, means f of g of x is nothing but sine of mod x. This is an example of composite function. So in a chain rule, we are going to mainly apply the composite function, the differentiation for the composite function. So here, suppose if we have a let y is equal to f of u, here y is a dependent variable which is depend upon the value of u, and u is a function which is also depend upon the value of x, because you have chosen as u is equal to g of x. Y is equal to f of u, u is equal to g of x. Here y is depend upon u is depend upon x. Then if we are finding the derivative of y with respect to x, so y is a dependent variable and x is an independent variable. So differentiation of a dependent variable with respect to an independent variable is equal to, so first you need to differentiation for u. So dy by du into, so where is the u we need to differentiate u with respect to x, means so du by dx, then dy by dx is equal to dy by du into du by dx. Suppose if we cancel each other, so we are getting the dy by dx here. So it can be understood by using the some more problems, some more examples. So example, so we have a function differentiation of sin u with respect to x, means, so we know that sin function is containing a variable u. So differentiation of sin u is nothing but cos u. Here we have another function u. U means du by dx. Suppose if we have sin x, observe here, if we have sin x, then dy by dx is equal to differentiation of sin x cos x into, we need to differentiate for this x, so dx divided by dx means is nothing but cos x only, because dx by dx is nothing but 1. So here d by dx of sin u means differentiation of sin u is nothing but cos u. Again we need to differentiate u, so u means du by dx. So second one, differentiation of tan u. Tan u means differentiation of tan x secant square x, differentiation of tan u secant square u. So you need to differentiate for u only, so du by dx. Similarly, differentiation of cos u is equal to minus sin u into du by dx, and differentiation of cot u is equal to minus cosecant square u into du by dx. First you need to differentiate cot u. So we have another function u, we need to differentiate u with respect to x. So in the previous classes we have discussed about all these things, all these standard things. So here d by dx of secant u, secant differentiation of any secant u is nothing but secant u into tan u, so differentiation of du by dx. So in the final result, d by dx of cosecant u, so differentiation of cosecant u is nothing but minus cosecant u into cot u. Again we need to differentiate du by dx. In general, for the chain rule we can say that d by dx of u to the power n is equal to n into u to the power of n minus 1 du by dx. U to the power of n minus 1, we have another function u which is depend on x, so we need to differentiate u with respect to x. So by using the problems we can understand easily. So in the next video we can discuss about the problems on chain rule of differentiation. So now pause the video to note it down for the chain rule of differentiation.